Oh, hello everybody, and here I am interviewing Joe Bush. He's a wonderful concert pianist that I've gotten to know quite well. I'm very impressed. I've heard him in concert. Totally enjoyed his performance. Joe, tell us about your own personal journey. I know from your concert that you play beautiful classical music. Okay,
Thank
the
you.
great masters. Everybody from Franz Liszt all the way down to Ravel. So, but you also cross over, and I've heard you play some wonderful renditions of gospel. So tell us more about how that journey happened for you.
So, I guess my musical roots are gospel jazz. I had a wonderful musician at my church growing up, Greater Faith Tabernacle Baptist Church in Stamford, Connecticut. Shout out to you guys. And my father was really, I consider him a pretty good musician as well. He's a great singer, and gospel and spirituals and music from the South has been in my life and in my family for my whole life. My father wanted me to learn piano, and he wanted me to learn it well and learn it the right way. And he went to a school that introduced him to a lot of classical hymnal singing, and he fell in love with that kind of music. And so he wanted his son to learn how to play that kind of music. And so I took piano lessons, and I actually started learning classically first. You couldn't ask me to play anything by ear until I was probably about 18 or 19. And when I was 18 and 19, I was playing for the gospel choir at UConn, University of Connecticut, which is where I was going to school at the time. And I remember having to learn, being thrown into the water, having to learn how to play by ear. And I think that that's probably the best way to learn any gospel or anything. You just they'll give you some four chords and you do something with them, and you learn what you can do, what you won't do. You listen to more people, you figure out how to make that work. Again, the best way I think to get into any gospel playing is just to be just thrown in there, and you can't stop, and you have to just vibe with everybody else. Literally, you're vibing, you're playing by ear. You only can do what you hear. So that's probably the best way to get thrown into that.
Wonderful. And what is your method that when you have a student that wants to also learn besides classical and wants to cross over to learning different genres? How do you handle that?
So I like to do, one thing, depending on the student and what they like, the best approach is to learn a song and learn something with like probably four chords. So I like to start with, it's the first song I learned by ear, is Every Praise. And what happens is you learn the structure of a song. You learn that most songs are just a repeated order or a repeated sequence of chords, right? And then you learn there's a bunch of songs with the same repeated chord structures, right? And so then you just learn that in all the keys. And even if I were to, play, this is, from you would learn that chords in all the keys, and then you just apply them as needed. Every time you play by ear, you don't necessarily need to play the melody, which is the beautiful part. You kind of just need the chords. And so once you have the chords, you're kind of good money.
I know with my students, I find that ear training and crossover playing has a tremendous connection there. Do you find that helps when you're working with your students, that they learn their intervals? Does that help?
Intervals is imperative, actually. And to be honest, you don't even read music, you just read the intervals. You read the shapes on that you see on the staff, and the relationship between how far one note is to the next note. Being able to hear and recognize pitches, and just being able to hear and sing back what you hear is so important for music, because if you can't do that, you're kind of really walking through the jungle in the dark if you really can't hear what you're trying to actually play. So what I do a lot of is I'll play a game like, okay, guess the composer. I say, I don't know any composers, but what I'll do is I'll say, this composer sounds like this. this composer sounds like this, and you have to listen for what that composer sounds like. Or with my older students, I might do, you know, some, okay, can you find, if I'm in the key of E flat, can you hear that this is the 4 chord or that this is the 5 chord? That's also very good. It's very helpful. And it's fun, you know. It's definitely ear training is important.
Definitely, I agree. So I find that crossover playing really keeps you humble. When you're first
absolutely.
you could be playing, you know, written music all your life and even start, you know,
And you're so
memorizing
sure,
it.
right?
And you're so sure. You feel like, oh, I am this pianist, you know, this classical pianist. And then all of a sudden you're thrown into...
Man, there was, I had a lady that was a teacher. She said, don't even ask me to play Happy Birthday in front of me. And she could play, you know, Rachmaninoff with her eyes closed. But she's like, I'm not going to play, don't even ask me to play Happy Birthday.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
Because you go to a party,
I know.
and what if people are want you to play Happy Birthday
And don't let
or
them
Christmas
start,
songs
or Christmas songs, and don't let them start singing first, because then you have to find the key. No. No. She's like, no, don't do that. Yeah, I need the music.
Wow. Okay, so